Hey guys, just a quick message before we start today's episode. On behalf of Lanceroy and Retro Reloaded, we want to give a huge thank you to the incredible Patreon supporters who help keep the show alive and growing. A special shout out to our 64-bit legend, Zero, for your continued top-tier support. Thank you as well to our 16-bit adventurers, Tetrafoli, Marcus Q, and Sankar. And to our 8-bit explorers, Big Nick Dika, Werecoon Warden, yours truly, Wabiert, and Gaming Quarterly. Your support means the world to us, and especially Lance, and it's because of you that Retro Reloaded can continue celebrating gaming history, deep dives, and great conversations. We truly couldn't do this without you. And with that said, it's time to press start and jump into today's episode.
Hey there! Welcome to Retro Reloaded. I'm your host Lance, and each week I tackle a retro game shaped by your picks. If you want a chance to choose next week's game or unlock exclusive bonus episodes and polls, join me on Patreon at patreon.com/retroreloaded. There's even a free tier to dip your toes in. Big thanks for all of your love and support. It means the world to me. Now let's hit the start button and reload those retro vibes.
The history of Mega Man Legends. Released in 1997 in Japan and 1998 worldwide for the PlayStation, Mega Man Legends, known as Rockman Dash in Japan, was Capcom's bold attempt to reinvent Mega Man for the 3D era. Directed by Keiji Inafune, the game departed drastically from the traditional 2D action platforming formula and instead embraced 3D exploration, lock-on shooting, RPG-like progression, and character-driven storytelling. At a time when many franchises were struggling to transition into 3D, Mega Man Legends took a slower, more deliberate approach, focusing on charm, world building, and humor rather than pure action. Its cel-shaded inspired art style, years before cel shading became common, helped the game age more gracefully than many early 3D titles. Despite mixed commercial success, Mega Man Legends earned a passionate cult following and laid the groundwork for Mega Man Legends 2 and The Misadventures of Bonne. It also represented Capcom experimenting with narrative-heavy design well before it became standard in action games.
Bonne here. Now, stop what you're doing and pay attention, because I'm about to tell you how it really went down. They show up at Kattelox Island, a peaceful town with a lot of underground ruins and more refractors than any island reasonably deserves. Naturally, the Bonne family takes interest. Energy crystals mean money, money mean giant robots, and giant robots mean happiness. Enter Mega Man Volna, professional boy wonder, ruined Treasure pastor extraordinaire, and roll caskets, personal errand boy. Every time we're about to secure a refractor or launch a perfectly reasonable operation, there he is, ruining everything with his stupid lock-on gun and heroic reputation. While everyone thinks the story is about Mega Man saving the town, the real plot is about us chasing ancient tech, constantly rebuilding after catastrophic robot losses, and trying to outsmart a kid who somehow survives explosions that level city blocks. Sure, there's ancient civilization lore, mysterious ruins, and hints that the world isn't what it seems, but let's be real. The emotional core is watching the Bonne family struggle, adapt, and still come back with better machines and killer music. By the end, Mega Man saves the island, the ruins collapse, and we retreat strategically, temporarily, with dignity. And if history had been fair, the story would have ended with the misadventures of Bonne being the main franchise and Mega Man being my loyal servant.
All right, with all that out of the way, we have three awesome guests. Two brand new guests, one that's been here before, that was on a Star Fox episode. But before we get into our guests and their names and their stories, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Wabiert for the narration for the Mega Man Legends episode, and then Kylie for the voice of Bonne. She actually voice acted the character for the narration of this episode, and it was really good and really cool. So I highly recommend to go check out her YouTube, which is at Kai-Leva, so Kai-Leva, Kylie VA. And yeah, Go check her out. She's just started her YouTube channel, so it's gonna have I think 1 or 0 subscribe. It's gonna have very little subscribers, but go subscribe, support her, and all that jazz. So yeah, let's get into our guests. Our first guest of the day is gonna be Whiskey Leg. Welcome to the show.
Hey, glad to be here, Lance. Should I call you Lance? Lanceroy? What do you prefer?
Yeah, Lance is fine. I typically just go by Lance. And then yeah, I should have asked you too because I know this is your Discord name, but Whiskey Leg is fine.
Yeah, Whiskey Leg's just fine.
Okay, great. And then we have Ariok. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
And then we have Zero. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, everyone?
Awesome. And a very fitting name for a Mega Man episode, having the name Zero. But unfortunately, Zero does not exist in this game, but still very fitting. So I wanted to kind of go around and talk about everyone's experience with Mega Man Legends. When did you first play it? Is this a nostalgia hit for you, or is this something you came into later in life? What'd you think of it? Is it a departure from the original franchise in a good or a bad way for you? And I know a lot of people have different opinions about this. So how about we just go from the top name in Discord? We'll start with Ariok.
Sure. Yeah, I played this game when I was 11 or 12, so forever ago. Back on the PS1, I had rented it from Family Video, a local rental store. I played it for a good 15 hours, didn't want to go to bed, stayed up playing it.
Nice.
Actually got grounded from my PlayStation because I would not go to bed. But I fell in love with this game immediately. Had loved Mega Man before that, and
Yeah.
don't have enough good things to say about it.
Yeah. Awesome. And so how old were you?
11 or 12, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was a little bit younger when I first experienced it, but I think that's around the age that I really got into it. And then how about you, Whiskey Leg? What's your story with the game?
So, I mean, I know we touched on this before, but just, for the audience, I actually played this for the first time on a demo disc at a family friend's house. There was growing up in central Wisconsin, there weren't a ton of game stores and places to try out new games, at least not where I was. But we were visiting some family friends for a holiday, and they had a PlayStation, and I was trying out the demo disc because, grown-ups were doing grown-up things and, whatever. So, I was probably 5 or 6 years old at the time. So, probably first grade. And, just barely learning how to read and, playing this game that actually requires just a little bit of reading, is kind of a good practice for me. And I played it, and I fell in love with it. And my folks were a little strapped for cash at the time, weren't really buying us a whole ton of games, but a buddy of mine had the game, and just straight up let me have it a couple years later. And so I played through it on this tiny little, probably 12-inch CRT TV, those little tube TVs.
Yeah.
Played through it and had my brother along for the ride, and we both played the games. Had very different styles of playing it, but man, I just fell in love with the game, and then every couple years afterward, I would just replay it and its wonderful sequel once or twice every other year or so.
Nice.
So that's my experience with it. It's just it's a nostalgia trip, but it's something I keep on coming back to, and I'm like, you know what, this is still really charming.
Reigniting that nostalgia every year, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can see why. So, and I'll get into kind of my experience as well. So I'm on board with you with that nostalgia thing. And then Zero, what's your kind of background with the game?
So I did not grow up with this game. This game was released when I was 4 years old. I didn't become a Mega Man fan until about 2004, if I remember correctly. That was when X8 was released. I became knowledgeable or aware of this game around, I want to say 2007, but I didn't get a chance to play this game until I was a teenager, and my way of playing the game, I wouldn't say was very legal. I didn't get a
Okay.
copy
Yeah.
of this game until my 20s. So I bought the game.
We can say emulators, right? Emulators fine. It's
Yeah.
not
You
the
you.
word.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind what if people say emulators. That's fine. I've had previous guests being like,
I
yeah,
mean,
I straight up stole this game, like pirated this game. I'm like, okay,
like
that's it.
I have a fully legal copy sitting on my shelf right now. I can go pull it
Dude,
up. I still play it on the emulator.
right. Right. Yeah. No, you
Now
definitely
I
can
do
say that.
too.
Zero.
Originally,
I just mailed you your copy. It'll arrive in the next 10 to 20 minutes or so. So it's totally cool if you emulated this game that you legally own.
Exactly. Yep.
Uh, but yeah, I originally played it on an emulator, and then I knew I wanted to actually find a copy of the game, and my local retro game store had it. Rest in peace, that game store that's no longer in business.
Rip.
But I managed to get a copy for about $60, and it was like a trip down memory lane of that era of PlayStation, because I grew up playing PlayStation, but not specifically this game, and it just transported me back to that era. And in my opinion, being quite a big Mega Man fan myself, it it was just a very fun experience to me, despite how different it was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very different. So for anybody who just, maybe they've heard Mega Man Legends as a name, but they never actually seen the gameplay, it's way different than the original Mega Man series. You're talking about a 3D game, and it's kind of more of a, like, I guess like an RPG adventure game rather than like a side scroller platforming game. So
Honestly, it's closer to like a 3D Zelda of the era almost. Like
yeah, I
it's
agree.
still it's got that strong Mega Man DNA, but like it's a sort of platformer, sort of RPG, definitely action adventure game back when that genre meant something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you're not, if you're coming to Mega Man Legends to look for like that typical experience, you're not gonna get it. But I would say if you're a Mega Man fan, and maybe I should have saved this for the end of the episode, but go at least try it, and then you'll see what you think. And then yeah, so real quick side note too, I just want to thank you, Oriok. You're the one who submitted it to the show. Can you just kind of give me a reason why you submitted this game over maybe any other game you could have chosen?
Uh, well, to be honest, I mean, not only is it one of my favorite games to play, but I figured it was also a game that is um relatively easily accessible, I guess, from like a you don't have to play it for 100 hours to like really understand it, get good at it. Um,
Yeah.
I just replayed through it for the first time in a decade, and I actually just beat it in 5 hours. Um, it's just a simple, easy game that I figured everyone would enjoy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think my playtime was like, and this includes like pause time, which I probably had like an hour of. I think my total playtime was like around 6.5 hours or something. It wasn't very
Nice.
long. And it's not like I went and did all the side stuff, but I did do some side adventuring stuff that I didn't need to do. I went through some of the sub ruins and in different areas to try to find items. I kicked the can around. If you don't play this game and
Oh
you don't
God.
kick the can at least for a little bit, then you're not playing Mega Man Legends. You have to kick
Yep.
that
Yeah, you're
can
wrong.
into
Keep
right,
the Apple
exactly.
market clean.
Yeah, and so I guess if you kick it into the behind the lady's desk, she gives you like 1,000 gil, or you get 1,000 gil or something like that, right? Behind the
Zen.
counter.
Zenny. It's 1,000
Zenny
Zenny for
gil,
kicking it
yeah,
into the
Zenny group.
bakery.
Zinni, Rupees, Gil. It's like
For,
it's
for
one of these
keeping the
girls.
streets clean.
It's got a weird name
One of
too.
those.
Is it like the Jet Lag Bakery or something? Like, who named these?
Yeah, I think that is the name of the bakery.
It was like, well, you know what makes me want a loaf of bread? The reminder of how terrible it is to travel across time zones.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that'd be a good little airport. I guess that kind of acts as an airport in a way. But yeah, good little airport restaurant or something.
It's like, are you questioning your will to live because of how far you just had to travel today? How about a loaf of
Right.
bread?
How about a loaf of bread? And if you kick the can behind here, 1,000 Zinni. I mean, can't complain too much.
Just as some poor airport employees, like, I've just wanted to bake bread, and there's just a bunch of people kicking cans at his face.
kicking it at the person.
Give me
So
money.
yeah. So this story is also a lot more involved than the other series too. There's a lot more to it than most of the other series. I haven't played like Battle Network, so I'm not really sure about that franchise. But more like compared to X and compared to like the original Mega Man series, there's a lot more story here. And so I kind of want to give someone the floor to kind of maybe summarize the background and story to the game.
I can take this one if nobody cares.
All means.
All right. So in this game, so Mega Man Legends is on a completely different timeline than the rest of the Mega Man titles, and it's a very different setting. We won't go into it, but there are some fan theories that it's part of the same timeline as the X series and blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. But anyway, the entire Earth is flooded, and Mega Man and Roll, familiar faces, are they pilot a ship, an airship called the Fludder. And what's going on in this world is that the world is flooded. Energy is absolutely necessary. Think of it as a more Saturday morning cartoon friendly version of Mad Max. And people need to dig down into ruins to get energy crystals to power their ships, power modern life, yada, yada, yada. And the specialized people are called diggers. And Mega Man is a digger. Roll is his spotter. So she's like the gal in the chair who informs him of all things. And he goes down, kills what are called Reaver bots, and looks for these energy crystals. And that just kind of powers the whole thing. And they are floating around, and they haven't been servicing the Flutter, their airship, very well, and it crash lands on a place called Kattelox Island. Basically, you end up befriending, getting to know and love the inhabitants of this island, and spoiler alert, there's a lot more going on underneath the island, but you face off against pirates, Reaver bots, and you try to make your way, try to ingratiate yourself to this community, rebuilding what the pirates have destroyed. And then you find out that Mega Man is sort of a reincarnation of a unit that's kind of like, basically he's Neo in the Matrix in a weird way.
Okay.
And that there is a program designed to kill all the humans on the island being run by a robot underground, and you have to put a stop to it and save your fellow humans.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and it's a lot of like 99% of the really important parts of the story happen within about the last half hour of the game. It's a friend of mine described it as Pokemon having a beach episode, and then in like the last 2 minutes they pull Pikachu and Ash into the war room.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because before that all happens with the whole like, Armageddon thing, you're kind of the story mostly revolves around Mega Man dealing with these pirates. And that's like the majority of the game is like Mega Man fighting off these pirates. And you have the three pirates. One's Teasel, one's Tron, and what's the Babu guy? What's his name?
I think it's just Bonne.
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 Just
Yeah.
Bonne.
Yeah, and so these are the yeah, he goes, "Baby." He's like a big baby robot or something. And so that's what Mega Man's mostly dealing with. He's kind of saving the island from these guys, and then, like you said, towards the end of the game, like it kind of goes into this crazy dark segment where it's like no longer really about the pirates, it's about the robots trying to destroy the humans. So yeah, so the Trons, or the Bonds, I should say. The Bonds are very famous characters, and so are their little Lego people. They have these little Lego people. What are they called?
Serve
Surf
bots.
bots.
Serve bots.
Also, fun fact
Yeah.
about the Surf bots. Capcom, I don't know if they still do this, but for a while, when they were bringing on new artists and 3D modelers into their staff, they would test them on how well they could recreate a Surf bot in their modeling software, because
Interesting.
they are deceptively difficult to recreate because they have weird proportions and very specific little things, because they look like little Lego guys. Like, you look at them and you're like, oh, little Lego guy, but their proportions are very different and very specific. So that was kind of their baptism by fire for a long time for 3D modelers.
Yeah. Yeah, and these characters have been referenced in a lot of games. Like, for example, what was that one with the mall? Dead Rising?
Dead Rising.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
So and they're also referenced. I think they're referenced in other stuff, but these were kind of like the what's that movie with all the little mini-me's, the minions? Yeah, minions. These are like the minions before the minions were minions, essentially.
And they're
These
so
little
much
surf
better
bodies.
than the
Kinda.
minions.
Yeah, I like them better.
I
Yeah.
I love them so much more, and like, I know we're talking about Mega Man Legends 1, but in 2 they get such an iconic scene that I love, where they're like, Teaser's like, steal everything that isn't nailed down. And then they're like, even the toilet paper? And he's like, no, we'll leave the toilet paper. We're pirates, not barbarians.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. I love Teasel's character too. I just have to say. So yeah, that's a good transition. We'll start with you, Zero. Who's your favorite character in the game?
Ooh, that's really throwing me under the bus here. I really
Yes, all right, man.
I love the characters in this game in general. That's actually one thing I do want to touch on, is that out of all of Mega Man, this is probably the game that has the most amount of characters that I enjoy altogether. I really do love
Yeah,
the Bonds though. I think they're probably my favorite.
yeah.
The Bonds really are excellent.
The Bonds are excellent characters. I have to agree. I think they're just. I don't. I'll go into a little bit more later, but yeah, they're fantastic. And then Aryak, do you have a favorite character?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I think Teasel absolutely stole the show with this game. He's
Yeah.
probably my favorite one in this game for sure.
And then
Teasel
Whiskey,
won.
do you have a specific?
I mean, again, I'm gonna have to go with Ariak on this, where like, Teasel he's such a blast, and um, I will tell people, don't Google the voice actor and why he was arrested, just as a trigger warning. Just don't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's extremely unfortunate. You don't want to
Oh
look that up.
no. I don't want to look it up. That's good. I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't even want to
Yeah,
ruin it. Yeah.
yeah. Just don't. But Teasel as a character, absolutely incredible, because it's just Saturday morning cartoon villainy dialed up to 11. Both like in terms of like, he so badly wants to be this badass menace, but also he's so petty and pathetic, and his goals are relatively small at the same time, and he's constantly limited by either his own incompetence or the incompetence of his siblings, and it just makes for such a funny character. And
Yeah.
the whole thing in this game is like, if you look at any of the cutscenes for even just like a couple of moments, it's very clear that Saturday morning cartoons and anime were a huge influence on it, and they really took it to heart, and they really put in a lot of effort to make that look work. Like there's a lot of stuff where like, oh, there's a shortcut you could have cut there, but they chose not to. And having some incredible voice work out of him and the rest of the Bonds was really great. I mean, I love Tron as well. Tron Bonne is hilarious because she's petty. She's definitely in love with Mega Man. And what's really fascinating to me is that like I saw this video recently of all the different versions of her character that they tried out visually, and how strong her characterization remains no matter what you do with her visually. They had a very clear-cut idea of who she was supposed to be, and it really shines through, and the voice actress did a kick-ass job with her.
Yes, I like Tron Bonne a lot. I don't even know. I don't know who I like more. I'm not sure if I'm like, yeah, Teasel more or Tron more. But those two, I think they just kind of steal the show in this game. They're kind of the star. I know Mega Man's like technically the star, but they're kind of the stars as far as like personality and voice acting. They just really did a great job. It's really fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to say it was in the first game, but it might be the second game. The voice actor that they got for Mega Man also played Timmy in the Lassie series, as in Timmy's down a well, we have to go rescue him fame.
Really?
That dates me a little bit, but yes.
Oh gosh. What's
Uh,
wrong, Lassie? Timmy's down the well.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
Timmy.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that's a bit of an older show, a little bit past my time, I would say, but I definitely know where, of it. Yeah. So let's talk about we kind of, touched on a little bit how it went from 2D to 3D. I kind of want to get the general consensus here. Do you think it was a good idea that they kind of took this transition? And I feel like I'm going to know most people's answer. I just want to kind of, maybe get into it a little bit more. And maybe we'll start with Aryak.
I think it was definitely a good transition for this type of game, where there's a lot of exploration and stuff to go along with the action stuff. So it's not like some crazy like Mega Man X, trying to dodge a million things all at the same time, and you need that 2D level of focus, I guess would be the best way I could put it. So to be able to like have that 3D view of the world, see it kind of not quite through his eyes, but that third person perspective, you're basically seeing everything he is.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. It's definitely more personable, because it is that through that third person perspective, you feel like Mega Man, I would say, in this game, more than like an observer of Mega Man, at least for me. So I feel that way. What about you, Zero? What do you think about the transition? Good idea, bad idea?
I think for a new direction, because Legends really just is its own thing, it was a really good idea to have this whole exploration, this adventure game. I think if it was a 3D game for the classic series, or even like the X series, we don't talk about X7, just the transition just wouldn't have been good. I think by them doing something completely different, and this was Inafune's intention was to do something completely different. It was a really good transition, in my personal opinion. I mean, people can argue on the controls, however, think of the time, but I
Right.
think it was a good transition.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's like you said, it's not like they tried to take that same recipe from the 2D games and just transition to 3D. It's like they made almost a completely new thing. So yeah, and then Whiskey, what do you think?
So this this one's got a couple layers, and it touches on some things that have already been mentioned. So, like in a way, this is So I remember the era very clearly where it was like a lot of old IP holders were basically like, if you don't do at least one 3D title, your IP is dead. Like
Yeah.
you have to, like N64, PS1, you have to move to 3D. You don't have to fully commit to it, but you do have to do something with it, or
Right.
you're going to be left in dust. And with this one, I feel like it all like because it is so different from other Mega Man titles. It's very clear that like this almost could have been, and some people would argue should have been, a different IP. I would disagree with them. Like I love this move to 3D, but it is, if you're looking for a classic Mega Man experience, if that's what you're digging for more of, and you're not into lore, you're not into the character, this isn't for you. Because but this game is so good on its own merits. One, because it's fun. Two, it doesn't ask very much of you in terms of like the controls are a bit dated, that's fine, but they still work. And on top of that, it's like there's quite a few little fun little callbacks to the old series. There's enough of a surface level uh sort of similarity for like,
Yeah.
oh, if you like Mega Man, you'll like Mega Man Legends. That's fine.
Yeah.
And but because they moved to 3D, but not only they did that, but they did so way more competently than a lot of other developers did at the time. And I feel like that really gets swept under the rug when it comes to Mega Man Legends, is how competently they understood the limitations of what they had in front of them and what they were doing. For example, it's like that the camera is a very, what was it, like 1997 camera? Yeah,
Yeah. Original 3D.
Yeah, it's very 1997 camera, but they had means of working around that. They designed the enemies, they designed the environments, they designed how they understood the controls to work around those limitations. So the game still works even with dated controls. And like I'm sure we've all played games that like GoldenEye, for example, where you feel very limited by the controls. We're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I would be winning at this much better if the controls weren't absolutely awful. Mega Man Legends doesn't really have that same issue, despite being from that same era. It's like, oh no, it's the controls work for the challenge at hand, even if they're
Yeah.
not super ideal, which is actually a pretty incredible feat because it's been almost 30 years since it came out, and for the controls to not feel like an obstacle other than like me getting used to them again, that's incredible. So I feel
Yeah.
like this was a great move for it, the series. Um just based solely on how competently they did and how fun it is to play and how fun it is to revisit. And
Yeah.
I grew up on Mega Man. I played Mega Man X4, which is a great game. X7 wasn't. I'm totally with you, Zero. And like I also grew up on Mega Man Battle Network, which was also a huge departure for the series, but it still works
Yeah.
because of how competently it was done. And I feel like that's a huge strength this series has, is like we can slot Mega Man into all sorts of different things. And I feel like that's one thing Mega Man weirdly does better than Mario does. Because like if you put Mario into a turn-based RPG that isn't Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga or Paper Mario, I'm a little weirded out.
I really did like Mario RPG. I think that was actually a pretty good game, but it's a lot different than this game. That's like a turn-based, like a typical turn-based JRPG, where this is like an adventure, kind of like you said, maybe related to Zelda. Actually, funny enough, I played Sonic Adventure like the week before, and I actually saw some similarities in like those two games, ironically, as far as like traversing the overworld and going to these different areas, and because you're not just like it's not just like level to level like a normal Mega Man game where it's like, okay, you're selecting your level and your boss, and then you go to that level and you beat it. You're like in this overworld, and you're going through town, and you're going outside of town, and you're going to the island, and you're doing all different kinds of stuff, and you get to come back and meet the same characters and talk to the same characters. It's very much like a I don't even know, like a some sort of RPG game that you would play, not like Skyrim, but like
Yeah.
it is an RPG, and
Yeah.
it's so
And when we're discussing this period of games, also, it's gaming's sort of puberty prom photos. Like most games, it's the equivalent of having a prom photo with a bunch of acne on your face, and you look a little awkward. Your braces haven't totally set your teeth right yet. Where Mega Man Legends is looking like, no, that's still looking pretty hot. And
yeah.
it's it's still a great game, and like there are very minor tweaks I would ever make to this game. If it were to be remade, I'd be like, well, let's just reduce the loading times and make the controls better, and that's about it. I wouldn't change
Right.
too much else.
Out
Where
of
I can't
curiosity,
say that.
I know so there's number one and there's number two, which I also beat a long time ago, but then the number two kind of leaves at a cliffhanger, and they never made a number three. Do any of you know why they kind of did that to the series, or?
So
Uh,
yeah, I remember following it as a young adult. I was following the I mean, Zero, feel free to jump in and at any time. But what I remember was they were going to release a demo on the 3DS, which at the time was not selling well, and you would have to pay for the demo. And that's like a it's a platform that's not selling well. B, you're gonna ask people to pay for a demo, and then
What do you mean by that? Do you mean they had to purchase a game to do it?
no, I mean you'd have to purchase just the demo. It wasn't like
Oh,
back on the 360 era before Halo 3 came out, where a bunch of people bought Crackdown so they could play the Halo 3 beta. This was no, you're going to give us money, and then we'll give you a demo of the game, and then maybe it'll come out later.
it
okay.
was
So
really during the midpoint of where Mega Man as a franchise hit a really dark period, and it started, what I personally consider the great canceling of a lot of games. There was a lot of internal issues at Capcom, and Keiji Inafune, who's producer of the Mega Man franchise, was on his way out, and this series was his baby. And Capcom was very hit or miss on this series because it didn't sell very well. I think now the popularity is starting to get there, and more people are becoming aware of this series,
right.
and it's got a bit of a cult following now. But back then, it wasn't really the case, and the Legends series had that cult following, yes, but not as much support as, say, the classic series or even the X series. So it was a very risky series to add an additional entry into. So by the time Keiji Inafune decided to leave Capcom, Capcom decided to cancel this project alongside that.
Oh, man, that
That's
is just
correct.
tra-
No, well, I'm still mad about it. It's been over a decade since it's been
that's a
canceled.
tragedy. That's a
I'm
Wait,
very
tragedy.
they
salty
what?
about it.
It's been like fuck. It's been like almost half my life since it was canceled, but like I'm still mad about it because
Yeah.
what could have been was awesome. And like thing is too is like I've talked to other fans of the series. I don't know if Ariok and Zero would agree with this, but like don't need a graphics upgrade. Make it look like a PS1 title. I don't care. Just give us a finisher. Get Mega Man off the moon. Like,
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Aryok, about that?
Oh, I was just thinking the way Capcom handled it entirely, blaming it on the lack of support from the community that wanted it at the time as to why
that
they
is something
canceled
they
3
did.
was just an outrage to so many people.
Yeah, that's a
It
poor
kicked off a
decision.
villain arc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It kicked
it
off a
really
villain
was.
arc with
So,
the. I think the Mega Man fan base, in some cases, hasn't really recovered from Capcom pointing the finger at us and blaming us for no interest. Though I think they're trying to extend an olive branch with the Legacy Collection releases, but we'll see where that goes.
I hope
I
so.
mean, at the same time, though, it's like they do these legacy collections, but Mega Man Legends is never in them. And I'm like, it's very much like somebody like brushing up against me, and they're like, "Oh, you think that's hot?" And then they just kick you right between the legs. I'm like, no, no, this is stop. Do the
Yeah.
thing we wanted.
I think that's a common sentiment I was seeing online too, is that most people who is a fan of this franchise, they just don't know why Mega Man Legends 3 won't come out. I bet it would sell. Like I would imagine it would sell. And I'm sure it would do well. Maybe they think that the other games are just more worth it. Like if you're doing a different type of side scrolling one, or I don't even, when's the last Mega Man game come out? What was it? Do you guys know? It was
Give
I think it
me.
was 2018 or 2019 was Mega Man 11. I
okay.
could be
So it was like
mistaken.
the original series then.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
another entry coming out next year.
Yes,
Okay.
Mega Man
which
12
like
is coming out.
which is like
Well,
it's fine. I'm very happy for those fans, but at the same time, like there was what I'm really ticked off about, like more, like not as much as cancellation of Mega Man Legends 3 was uh Capcom was testing out a game that was basically Mario Maker but for Mega Man.
Oh
oh, that
yeah.
would have been
And
cool.
and they canceled it. And I'm thinking that
Oh,
was probably because they very quickly understood if they released that, they would never sell another mainline Mega Man game ever again.
yeah.
Because
I
it'd
mean,
be all too simple to because you look at the Mario series, every new entry does offer something new, novel, different that they either couldn't or didn't do in the previous games. With the mainline Mega Man games, it's like, no, this is a lot of the new releases are just really fancy ROM hacks in terms of what you're playing.
sure. Yeah, I
I
haven't. Oh,
semi
go ahead,
agree with
Aria.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to, if you're to compare it to Mario specifically, it feels like that's a rinse and repeat of Peach has been kidnapped. Saber. The Mega Man universe has wars, has a story, and so even if they came out with like a Mega Man Maker, quote unquote, then I think other titles would sell just for the sake of a storyline um,
It's
that could be
true.
progressed.
And that's, I mean, that also depends on how invested in the story some people are. I mean, we're talking about
That's
Mega
very
Man
true.
Legends, where it's mostly story and some dungeon crawling and stuff. But like for mainline Mega Man, like there's a lot of sales that would be lost if like guys could be like, I'm just gonna play challenge maps on my stream for the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
There-
and yeah, you can lose
It,
some
it,
of that.
it might be a bit of a spoiler for the episode, but this Mega Man line of games is actually my favorite. And I know they're wildly different. I know like it's hard to compare like a 2D side-scrolling Mega Man game versus this 3D RPG. But like if somebody was like, "Hey, you can play one or the other," I'm going to choose this. Like I will go with the Mega Man Legends because I'm going to get more involved with the 2D side-scrolling Mega Man, which I have a blast with, and they're great games. They're really fast games. Like you can beat it, and then it's like you can get the up, maybe the Hadoken at some point, and it's like you're kind of done. I haven't really played any of the later games, so don't maybe take that with a grain of salt. But in the older games, they're pretty fast. So
Yeah, I mean, and these, well, at least the first one, Mega Man Legends, is pretty quick too. Like, Ariak, you said you finished it. Oh, sorry, no, Lance, you said you finished it in like 5 hours.
yeah, like 6.5 hours, not 100%, but yeah.
Yeah, and like even if you are going for 100%, like the game only has a couple extra hours onto that, and it's still fun the entire time. There are little tidbits and little details to find, but it's a game that honestly, like, one of my biggest things I'm impressed by, especially for a game of this era and of this scale, is the game respects your time and respects you, which is rare.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you took a little extra time to go down this alleyway. Oh, all right. There's something for you to find here. It's not super critical, but we have it here. But if you just want to rush through and play through the game for the sake of having played through the game, it's there, and like, yeah, you can go ahead and get it done in 6 to 10 hours, depending on your skill level. And it's not a terribly difficult game. It communicates very well what you need to do throughout the game. Like, even some of the boss fights are like, it tells you how to beat the boss. And I love that respect for our time, which is not a thing that's super common in the modern gaming landscape, where everything's based on fear of missing out and how many hours can you grind on this. It just respects your time. It's like, hey, you want to have fun? Go have fun.
Yeah.
When the fun's over, you're done.
I don't think I ever regretted doing any of the side content in this game like I might another game. So I'm on board with you on that. I think it respects your time. And it's like you said, it's not necessary to do the side content. You can still have a pretty somewhat complete experience without doing it. But at the same time, I think the side stuff is worth it and you're going to enjoy your time. Out of curiosity, Zero, what's your favorite Mega Man franchise? Is it this one? Is it another one, or?
So I gravitate more towards the platformers. My favorite series in the franchise is the Zero series. My favorite Mega Man game of all time is X. But the Legend series, I have a very special place in my heart for this series in particular because, like Whiskey said, it respects your time. You can complete this game how quick you want or how slow you want. The game moves at your pace. The game doesn't move the pace for you. You could play it however long you want or however short you want.
Yeah, I completely agree. What about you, Ariak? Which one is your favorite franchise?
Pretty much very similar. As far as the franchise goes, I think Legends actually is my favorite franchise. Mega Man X it's my favorite game of all time. I will never stray from that. But as far as completing Mega Man Legends on your own time like that, my very first save file I vividly remember was 78 hours by the time that I went to the final boss to finish the game. So I ran around.
I did the same thing in my first playthrough, man. Like when I was a kid, I did the same thing. I probably put like close to 40 hours, and it's just because I was experiencing the world, So I get that. And then Whiskey, what about your favorite?
So this one's gonna differ from my other guests here. It's kind of a two-way tie between this one and Battle Network.
Okay.
I played the crap out of Battle Network 3 white version and then played through blue version, which sadly is like, you'd think it'd be like Pokemon Red and Green, where they're exactly the same, but no. Blue actually has more content. Blue is the more complete version if you want to play it. White is like a slight beta. But anyway, they're both fantastic games. I probably dumped 1,000 hours into each of them. And like I love Mega Man. I grew up on the X series, especially X4. I dumped a ton of hours into that. And also, like one time through one sitting, and I don't recommend this, I beat Mega Man 1 through 6, the classics,
Oh wow.
in one sitting. I do not recommend doing that ever.
How long did that take you? Like 10 hours or something?
I think I was sitting there for about 14 hours, including bathroom breaks
Wow.
and taking some time to microwave a burrito.
Yeah.
That was
Good old
that was
burritos.
yeah, that was like 20 years ago. So like don't do that. You have other better uses of your time.
Right.
But but
Yes.
no, I love the mainline series, but Battle Network and Legends have my heart. They're so fun to play. They're so fun to revisit. Uh, Especially Legends. Like if I'm just kicking back by myself, like the characters are so familiar and so unique and so fun, and the world itself, even though you're gonna bump into the same uh, NPC model 20 times at least in a playthrough, each one of them has an individual personality, which is just fascinating to see.
They do. They do. And if you go back, they'll say something different too. So like if you talk to them and then like you do something in the game and come back, they'll have a different like line sometimes where it's like the
Yeah,
story changed.
exactly. Like that's the reason I love Mr. Hippopotamus Legends.
Yeah, no, I went with hippopotamus too. I went with hippopotamus. That's so funny. Yeah, what's your name? Hippopotamus. Yeah.
Just as a
Um,
quick side tangent, Whiskey, I have to agree with you on Battle Network. I do enjoy the Battle Network series as well. I put a lot of hours into 3, so at some point, I would love to chat Battle Network with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit me up after the pod.
That's
you
actually
can
wild
get
to
a
me
bat.
because Battle Network 3 is the only one that I played out of the whole series of Battle Networks. I
It's
can't
so
believe
good
3 is what
though.
we landed on.
It
Hey,
is.
I mean, 4 had a very serious graphical downgrade, in my opinion. 3 was like a pseudo 3D, and then 4 was like, oh, what am I looking at?
I I don't know which one I played. I think it was like a Game Boy version or a Game Boy Advance version, and I tried getting into it, but I was like, this isn't Mega Man. Like I got upset that it wasn't like the traditional Mega Man, so I didn't. Which is kind of ironic, because right, this isn't traditional Mega Man, but it was like a weird strategy game, and I wasn't like a big strategy game guy back then. And then now I can kind of appreciate them with like tactics and Vandal Hearts and stuff. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, they're cool.
Because it's like okay, it's almost Mega Man, but it's almost a deck builder, but it's almost an RPG, and like you're looking at it like, like after like what is it, 6 titles, it's like, why are they still 12? Like,
The
Yeah.
difficulty will remind you that it's a Mega Man game for sure.
oh, absolutely. I also I like not to toot my own horn here, but if you Google search Tom Clancy's Dark Web for kids, I did a podcast on this particular game because the Mega Man Battle Network version of the net very strongly resembles a Tom Clancy novel. Like a very specific one called like Net Rangers or something like that.
I kind of want to get into some of the good, the bad, and the mixed. And we're going to talk a lot. I'm hoping we're going to talk a lot about these categories, because I think I have a lot to say about them, and I kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts too. Um, and I'll start with one of the good points, and is that the art style. I mean, I freaking loved the art style to this game. It's a PS1 graphics game, but it held up really, really well. It's not like Silent Hill or Tomb Raider or one of these other games that you played on the PS1. I played this game and I was like, this is still not bad. And if you upscale it, it is fantastic still. It's like a really decent looking game. So I think they went well with going with whatever cartoony style they chose. And I think that it's just very appealing, and there's these bright colors, and just it was good. It was very good. It's one of the best like graphically PS1 titles that I can think of, other than like Final Fantasy games, with the cinematics. How do you all feel about it? And maybe we'll start with Whiskey here.
Okay. So like I've talked about this before, but like there's a very strong Saturday morning cartoon anime sort of style going on here. And the character designs are all very, very flush with working with that perfectly. Like, doesn't matter heroes, villains, side characters, it's like there's really not much you would need to do to adapt these to being like, oh, this is our model for doing a cartoon right now. And the way that they handled all the cutscenes was just utterly fantastic. It's like, it's great voice acting, it's good lip sync, it's the fact that they had moving lips at all. And like, I say this as somebody who adores Metal Gear Solid. This game does cutscenes way better than Metal Gear Solid does. And that game was, considered top of the line and still is in a lot of ways. But this actually, like, even if you blow it up to like a 16:9 aspect ratio, which it was not designed for, if you blow it up to that in Duck Station, which is an emulator, I know, dirty word, but if you blow it up to 16:9, it still looks utterly fantastic. And as you said, the bright colors, like, the very definitive characters, and then also just with how much care was put in the mouth movement and just little gestures. They're not like micro expressions, or so to say, but the characters just work. Like I would watch a full series if it were animated exactly the same way as this, as all the cutscenes were. I would totally watch that.
Yeah,
And that's a great sign, because like it holds up really well.
Yeah, you say micro expressions, but the expressions were definitely good enough to where I got the emotion of the characters like really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it matches up
Yeah,
with that. Like,
yeah,
watch an old Pokemon cartoon and then watch a cutscene from this. There's very little difference other than the fact that one just happens to be in CG, which is
yeah,
crazy. It's like it's definitely done in engine,
yeah,
uh, which is nuts. Like
yeah,
doing
totally.
in-engine cutscenes in this time period and then having them also look this good is an
Yeah,
insane task. So
it's
like
insane.
I
Yeah, I
love it.
applaud them. I applaud them. What about you, Oriok?
Mm, I mean, to be honest, I've never really even thought about it while playing the games. Obviously, being, like I said, my favorite franchise of the Mega Man games, like it does draw you in. Like, I don't know quite how to describe it for myself, but yeah, the vibrant colors, the world, just everything. I don't think I hate any character design in the game. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I will say one of the notes, the with the mouth moving, I want to phrase that sometimes, often it moves. But I streamed like the beginning of a game the other day, and one of my comments, because I was laughing about it, was it reminded me of Red versus Blue, where they don't have mouths, but you would see their character move to signify that they were the ones talking,
yeah,
and that did make me laugh quite a bit.
So what
yeah,
do you think we're here?
yeah.
We set up a base in
I
the middle of a box canyon because they set up a base in the middle of a box canyon.
oh, Red Blue, yeah. That series was classic. There was a couple points where the mouth movements were a little bit off, like a slightly with the sound, but it was like not a big deal. It's very, very minor. And yeah. What about you, Zero? How do you feel about the graphics?
So, what I do like about the graphics is that the art style kind of took advantage of being a lot more angular, so the graphics didn't really take a hit with the design of the characters. The characters really remind me of like older anime, and like you have Mega Man. He was in Tatsunoko versus Capcom. He really fit in with the Tatsunoko side of the lineup. Just having that design and even the bonds to kind of remind me of like the Doronbo game from Yataman, and even like I think Whiskey mentioned like watching old Pokemon, especially from the '90s. The bonds are kind of like Team Rocket in terms of the vibe that they give me, except they're
Hey,
siblings.
Yep.
So
one thing, Zero. I really hate to interrupt you, but you said Tatsunoko style. I'm not familiar with that term. Can you explain that further?
So Tatsunoko is a animation studio known for Speed Racer, and yeah, that's probably one of their more well-known animes. But
Mm.
yeah, during the '60s and '70s, they had a lot of releases from Science Ninja Team Gatchaman, and I think it's because I'm familiar with a little bit more older anime.
Sure.
Um, So yeah, it has kind of that similar style. If you're really curious, Whiskey, look at Yataman, and you can see that the guy's got like Roll's hair. If I'm going to be honest with you, they got like the same hat style, hairstyle. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Um,
Yetaman.
it's just like that,
Okay.
yeah, that old style.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
Tom.
Speed Racer, so that's relatable. You know, their expressions and the the faces they make in that. So I can kind of see some similarities there for sure.
No, I
Yeah.
just Googled it. Yeah, no, okay. I see the roll hair. I also see I don't know the character's name, but one of the guys from WarriorWare.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to look it up after this. Actually, yeah, I'll look it up in a little bit. But yeah, so the graphics, I think we're all in kind of an agreement here. The graphics were a positive note, um, and they really didn't like. I would say like 95% of PS1 games, their graphics age, and this one just it really didn't age that much. You know, there's some slight aging, but it's very little, subtle.
Yeah, the only thing, honestly, and like it might even be a positive these days, is how polygonal things are. But like, if honestly, it's like Zero said, the art style really leans into the limitations of the hardware. So it's like, if you look at like Jet Set Radio Future on the original Xbox, like that hasn't aged one bit. Like you can keep scaling it up and up and up and up and up. It doesn't matter. Because the art style leans into the limitations and it just looks great still.
Yeah.
You have to play Jet Set Radio Future for a while to find any real faults with the art style, and I would say the same is true for Mega Man Legends.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. I just want to applaud them for releasing a game like this in '97 in Japan and being one of the first 3D Mega Man. It's just really incredible. Now I wanted to go kind of to one of my bad points, which and you're going to hear this sentiment all the time is the controls, right? That's like everybody talks about the clunky controls. They're kind of like tank controls. Which is kind of weird for a Mega Man game. Now I will say as a caveat, you do get used to it. The more you play it, like you're gonna get used to it, and it's not gonna bother you that much. But it would be nice if your character like didn't have to turn like standing still, or you'd have to press the trigger buttons to kind of do this big circle to get your character to turn in certain directions, which is funny enough is like the main mechanic of the game when you're fighting enemies. But yeah, how did you guys feel about the controls? And maybe I can start with Zero on this one.
Ooh boy, talk about a product of its time. Um, so it is a learning curve to understand the tank controls and get used to it and have it feel comfortable. I would say if you are so used to modern gaming and how spoiled we are with being able to move 360 degrees flawlessly, this game is going to feel like a very different beast. My personal
Yeah.
opinion on it is that it is a little stressful in some of the boss fights when you're learning how to use the controls until you realize that the strategy really is just strafing around them. Uh, but I'll say for a game that was released during the time when the DualShock was brand new and wasn't really implemented in a lot of games just yet, this is how we used to play 3D games, everybody.
I,
um,
yeah.
So, a quick fun fact. So like one of the whichever Zelda game it was that came out first, 3D Zelda is frequently cited as the first instance of Z targeting in a 3D game. Not the case. Mega Man Legends beat them on the
Yep.
Z targeting.
Yeah, it just wasn't the Z button. It was like what do you call it? The
Yeah.
R2 button or something?
Well, see, the
Yeah.
Z targeting doesn't refer to the button itself. It it's a plane of geometry. But yeah, no, it's this is the first one that let you like lock on to enemies in a 3D space, which is crazy. But yeah, no, a lot of times people think Zelda was the first to do it when it is actually Mega Man Legends.
Yeah. No, it was
Just
before.
putting my 2 cents in there. Sorry,
Yeah.
Zero continue.
but yeah, it was just my opinion on the controls is I have very mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I understand why the choice was what it was. At the same time, Lord, is it frustrating sometimes to wrangle the game. But like Lance said, when you get used to the game, it stops becoming something you're actively thinking about, and it just becomes natural.
Yeah. It does. It really does. Like it's going to really bother you for the first maybe 30 minutes to an hour that you play the game, but after that it just kind of goes away and you like are just kind of playing the game and it's really not a big deal. It kind of like very similar to like the Resident Evil series where you play the Resident Evil series, you're like kind of bothered by the controls at first and then you get used to it. Maybe some people don't. Some people may never get used to it, but I think most people do. So, I'm in agreement there. What about you, Ariak? You have any feelings on this?
Well, having just played through it, the controls came back to me immediately. I had zero problems. I don't know. I do always set my strafing to the L and R ones instead of the D-pad. So I strafe with my shoulder buttons and just can run around just fine.
Same.
That's definitely been easier in my head. The only real gripe that I would say I would have is that with the targeting, like, yeah, you can stop, you can look around, you can shoot in specific directions, is when it auto targets a part of a body that you don't want to fire at and you can't change that. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of a fight with a pirate, specifically the last one, where you have to hit the middle of its body in order to damage it. Like to actually take its life bar down.
Right.
But instead it wants to target its feet all the time. And it really kind of made the battle draw longer than it needed to be. But otherwise, I mean, I have zero other issues with the controls personally.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I didn't really use the Z targeting that often because the game kind of does this auto aim thing automatically. So there's only very specific scenarios where I had to actually use it, like that boss fight, like you said. Yeah, Whiskey. Do you have any other points on the controls or?
Really nothing too much to add other than like after having played both games, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, several times. Mega Man Legends 1 always feels like a huge downgrade from Mega Man Legends 2, even though they're not that different. It's just 2 does it so much better. For like the Z targeting is a little bit longer range, it's a little more responsive. Replaying it a bit for this podcast, not to completion, but replaying it enough. The lock on is very, very short-sighted and just doesn't quite interact the way you'd expect it to. Just being a modern gamer and having played the sequel, it just doesn't lock on the way you expect it to. Still, like you said, like the game tends to kind of auto lock onto targets as it needs to, so it's not a make or break issue. But yeah, that's all I've got. Zero and Ariok really covered it pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. People try to make out these things to be like the most atrocious thing in the world, and it's not. The controls are fine. The controls are a little bit outdated, but it's not like, yeah, it's definitely not that bad. Now, one of my other good points I wanted to go into was the music. And I think that the music is, I'm not going to say that they're masterpieces, but I love this soundtrack like so much. It brings me so much nostalgia, and it's like, I love I can't remember which soundtrack that is. I think it's like maybe Tron Bonne's soundtrack, but it's like I don't know if I could even do
Sing
it.
it,
It's like,
sing it, sing it.
I'm trying to think of the. It's like da 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 da. Da, 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 da. You know which one I'm talking about?
I do.
It sounds
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, but yeah, I won't do it anymore. But everyone's like, but yeah, no, that's pretty much one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire game. I love it to death.
Yeah, I think that's the very general, just all the Bonds music, because it plays after a lot of cutscenes with them in it. Is that soundtrack, that specific track?
Yes, and I don't know why that track is just like my favorite. And all the the Apple Market gets stuck in your head. That little, if you're in there for a long time, that little Apple Market. Yeah, exactly. Hey, not bad.
Join in if you know the words.
If you know the words, the lyrics are right here. But yeah, music was just so fitting. It fit so well in this game. What about you, Arak? Do you have any favorite soundtracks? What do you think about the music?
Yeah, I was also thinking that I do like the Bonds theme there. There is. I just listened to the end credits just literally 20 minutes before this podcast because I finished the game just 20 minutes before this podcast. And I fell in love with it. Them using sound clips from the game over the music track. And the music track honestly kind of reminds me of Mega Man X1's ending music to a little bit. Loved that one. And there is a specific, if you go into, there's like a record shop, CD shop,
Yes,
if
I love
any
that one.
younger kids don't know what a CD is, it's a disc that plays music.
Sam Goody store.
Yeah, exactly. You can go in there and listen to, I think it's like 4 or 5 different types of music. And I specifically love the heavy metal one in there because it just sounds like such a good boss track. Like, I don't know how to describe it if you haven't listened to it. But it could be the boss music for any fight in a game, I feel like, and be great.
nice. Yeah, I love that record store. It's like just a little. It's not even that important, but it's just a little cool little like go in there and you're like listening to tracks. It's
Yep.
really neat. Yeah. What about you? Do you have any favorite soundtracks, or what do you think about the music?
Man, my favorite track for the whole series is Gate Crasher. But like I think it makes an appearance in this game, though I think it was better in the second one. But if folks want to look it up, there's an album where it was like I don't remember what the name was, like it was like Mega Man for a Better World or something like that, where they had Gate Crasher, and it sounds so damn epic when playing it. But like for this game in particular, I just love the Apple Market music. It's so calming and so just chill, and I've put it on my headphones. Like I've got some relatively invisible headphones because I got a big mop of curly hair, But I'll put it on when I'm out shopping with my wife in a foreign country. I'll just put on the Apple Market music and just kind of walk around. It's just, it's like,
That's
oh, you're
funny.
shopping for clothes? Oh, do, 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 do.
You're like living real life Mega Man Legends Apple Market. That's perfect.
It's like that's a dirty magazine. Better put it back before anyone sees it. Like no,
Yeah,
no.
yes. I love
I joke, but
so
that's
funny.
a fun joke from the game where I do love that perspective where Mega Man is definitely a teenager and he's like, oh, dirty magazines. Oh, but better hide that. Don't want anyone to think I was looking at it.
Right. Yes, totally. Apple Market's great. What about you, Zero? You have any favorite tracks, or what do you think about the music?
I really do enjoy the music of this game, and I will also have to say I am a lover of the Apple Market music.
Right.
It
Hell
lives in my
yeah!
head. It lives in my head rent free. Like I would just be working, and I wouldn't have listened to it for months, and it will just pop in my head. Uh, but I do want to give like a weird little acknowledgement to the final boss music, which is Little Fugue by Beethoven. Uh,
Yes,
Talk about a very interesting choice, but I think it fits very well.
it does fit so good. That classical, like hyper classical, energy music was great for that boss fight. I
Especially
agree.
with the graphics, the stakes, the music. That final boss level with Juno is utterly insane because it's like there's this just dude who's all calm, cool, and collected, and he's like a floating head with disembodied arms. Who's gonna like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna nuke everyone.
Not if I have the
But
shining laser first.
yeah, you're right. It's like Alexa, kill everyone.
Yeah,
That's the
he.
vibe. Man. It's like, of course you're gonna do it to classical music.
Yeah, and it's for him. It's like totally not personable. It's like personal. It's just like his job. He's like, I'm just doing my job. Like, if you can stop me, cool. But if you can't, good for me, I guess. Like, so
Again, Alexa, kill everyone.
Alexa is now killing everybody, killing all the carbons. Yes. So yeah, music's
Adding nuclear
great.
weapon to your shopping list.
Yeah, the music just fits. It fits so well. I think some of the other Mega Man games have maybe some better tracks, but I don't. I just love the music. It just fits. I can't really say anything more than that. It just fits for this game.
Again,
Now,
this is like this game. It's almost so much detached from the Mega Man IP that it might as well have been its own thing. But I'm glad that it was. But it's so different.
yeah. One of my small little bad points I had, and this is kind of a nitpick, is that I thought it was kind of annoying to have to go to roll to switch your weapons each time. I wish it would have just been like a thing in your menu that you clicked and it's like, okay, I got a new attachment on my arm, but it's like, no, I don't have my drill on, so I can't drill this wall, or no, I needed the grenade thing to shoot the roof, to break through the
Mhm.
roof. It's like just these minor inconveniences that make you kind of go out of your way to go back to the trolley or whatever it is and get your weapons switched out. Kind of annoying.
Yeah,
Old mechanic, I think that aged a little bit, but not a big deal. I don't
yeah,
think.
I agree. It's a little annoying to go to the Scooby Doo van to swap out your special weapons. Like I love how some of the special weapons are used. Because in my opinion, most of them are not incredibly useful. Like you get the mine launcher pretty early in the game, and it's like helpful because like, oh, I don't want to be zapping this guy for 5-10 minutes with my buster gun. I can just walk up to him and just put the mines down.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
drill, vacuum, kind of useful. The laser, obviously, 10 out of 10.
I don't know if I got the laser this time around. Is that the most powerful one, or?
By a lot. You can go from full health to zero on Juno in like what? Zero, help me out here. It's like 3 seconds, if even that, right?
Yeah, it's less than 10 seconds. The guy's dead.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy,
just
actually.
like if you have that laser, it's every boss fight in the game is like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think I got it. I got some sort of missile launcher that homes on people, I think, but I didn't get the laser. I don't think I got the Z Saber thing. That was kind of cool. But I didn't really use it.
It's
They
cool,
do it
but
so
yeah,
much better in the second game, I think. But
yeah, in the
in the
second
first
game,
one, it's
yeah,
cool.
that homing launcher in the second game with the infinite ammo and like,
Yeah.
like, so good. But yeah, no, that first game, like that laser is everything. I mean,
Yeah.
not that you can't beat the game without it. I mean, obviously you can. I mean, you
Right.
could probably beat the game with a barely upgraded cluster gun, because like it is a game intended for kids, like a smart kid, but it is for kids, and I
Yeah,
love
I
that. Like,
struggled with Juno when I was a kid. I'm not gonna lie, but as an adult, it was really easy. I think
yeah,
I died a couple times just because I had to learn the move set, like what he exactly did. But once I learned it, it was really simple.
I would have to
Yeah,
agree with you though, Lance, when it comes to swapping the weapons. But I also have, I would say, it's just a petty gripe. It's really nothing. But come on, roll, give me a discount here.
yeah,
Like half
she,
right.
that crap is expensive.
yeah, she's brutal.
Here's my bigger gripe is, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go off on this tangent. But in the second game, you know how you start with nothing, and she's like, "Oh, I sold all our weapons to repair the flutter," and I'm thinking, we could have robbed every dungeon within a
Right?
2,000-mile radius. We could kill
Yeah,
everybody.
especially after she made you pay for everything.
Right?
Yeah, I think I only made like 100,000 zenny the entire game, and I think like a single upgrade was like 30 grand. So it's like, you know,
It's freaking
wild.
down payment on a house.
I'm like, okay, fine, sell off all the other weapons, but give me my like instant death cannon that can kill God, and like let me use that to make us money. I will make us so much money, it'll make you go blind. And she's like,
Because
Roll
she's
it.
no, I
CEO, Mike.
sold it. Yeah,
Roll
I
is
know.
canonically a mafia boss. Actually, a mafia
Oh
boss.
no,
Tom,
no, she's a venture capital
she's
CEO.
Tom Nook.
No,
Um,
Tom Nook's a good guy. Tom Nook's borderline a communist. Are you kidding me?
yeah, indentured servitude.
No,
Okay.
no. Here's the thing. He's like, oh, you want a giant house? Here's $1 billion. What? Okay, so what are the terms of me paying it back? And he's like, whatever.
Yeah, without
And
your
like,
choice too.
is
You
there?
can't say
uh,
no.
but you could be like, well, is there any punishment if I'm late on it? No, I just whatever. Like, okay, but what if I never pay it back and I just keep the house? Yeah, whatever.
But in this world of endless water, capitalism is well and alive in the form of roll frickin' casket.
Yeah,
Fucking
in
roll.
refactors or whatever. What do you call them?
Refractors.
Refactors?
Actors.
Refractors.
Refractors.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought the switching weapons was kind of annoying. Very small gripe, but it's like it is a gripe. Now,
Oh god, that
one of
is
the good
really
points is that
disheartening.
and we've kind of already highlighted on this. One of the good points is that the characters are super charming. Like almost every single character in this game have some sort of charm to them. There's a few that are maybe like a little bit forgettable, but most of them have like very, very memorable. Especially the Bonds. Gramps is memorable, I would say. Rolls, somewhat memorable. Even just the people in the town. Like you remember some of these people in the town. The boat guy's a little creepy because he's like says something to Roll. He's like, I'm just so happy and he was being nice, I think, but he's like, I'm happy to have a pretty lady fixing my boat. I'm like, okay, buddy, she's under like underage or whatever. But
She's supposed to be like 13.
yeah, but most of the characters are pretty memorable, very charming characters, very well written. They're not like super in depth, but they're good for what they are, I think. So
Yeah, that's the thing that keeps coming up every time I replay it is like even though they like you see the same character model used over and over and over again, like the characters are actually all different. Like if I mention to like another Mega Man Legends fan, like, hey, you remember the the very cowardly digger and his spotter wife? Like you know where they are in the game. You know how to find
yeah.
them. You
Yeah.
can go talk to them right now. Like, no big deal. Or like the art student who's like just looking. She's like, oh, I don't know what to add to this. You know where to find her.
Oh yeah.
You know
yeah.
where she is. Yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, the lipstick added the splash of color that she needed. That's really cool. And I'm like, again, these are almost painfully generic character models for most of them who aren't part of the main cast. But at the same time, you remember those character interactions, you remember those specific characters, and that's a lot of heavy lifting to do, again, with a very limited set of character models. Because it's
Yes.
like if everybody looked like the wizard in Legend, or the old man in Legend of Zelda, you might not remember who's who or where to go where. But Mega Man Legends, even though they all kind of look the same, it's and some of them do look literally identical. You remember the distinct characters, which is that's some crazy work.
Yeah.
That's some really crazy work.
I
Yeah,
think
you're gonna
one.
remember.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you're gonna remember the cowardly digger or the art student or the creepy boat guy or the sultry voiced mayor. These characters stick out to you.
Oh, that stupid sexy mayor.
Yes. Yeah, and I think part of the reason, and this was to add as another good point to this charming character thing, was the voice actors. The voice acting in this game is surprisingly pretty good for that era. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, the voice acting for this game is better than most games of that era. I mean, first of all, there wasn't a lot. Think of Resident Evil like as a as a counter to this game. You're
Jill
like, it's night
Sandwich.
and day. It's not, huh?
I said Jill Sandwich.
Jill Sandwich. Yeah, Jill Sandwich. It's a night and day difference. It's really good. Honestly, the voice acting is on par with a lot of PS2 titles. I think it's just I don't know how they got these actors or where they got them from, but I think they really did these characters a good job. Like
Hell, it's still better than some modern games. I mean, like I've played some modern games that have terrible voice acting, and I'm like, you really have to walk a long way to beat the voice acting that they had. And again, keep in mind this is a PS1 title, one disc, and it was translated. Like that is some crazy dubbing work. They should all be very proud of what they pulled off here because it's incredible.
It is.
Yeah, voice acting was really good. I would partially, and I don't mean to do this, Lance, but partially segue to a minor gripe is some of the sound mixing. The voice acting is really, really good. Sometimes it's very quiet, and then you have like the loud sound effects. My favorite sound effect though is getting hit by the car.
Gosh.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All right. One after one. Let's do it. Like, getting hit by. I'll do it. Then Zero. Then Aryak. I want to hear your best version of getting hit by the car. For me, it's.
For me, it's.
Yeah. I didn't hear it. What was it?
I didn't catch it. I think it cut out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna let you.
Oh no!
I think it's cutting you out.
Curse you, noise gates.
Insert crashing sound here.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
All right, Arya, let's hear it.
And I'll try.
Yeah, the noise gating is.
It's like, nope, not today.
It's
You
just
gotta
won't happen.
do with your full chest. Just
Yeah,
It's
just
almost like a whip sound in my head,
yeah,
like a much deeper whip sound.
yeah.
like
It's like
I saw an artist on like Twitter, like probably like 10 years ago now, who did like a coming out video. Like they just like did like the "Pachoo!" and then did like I'm a man now. like,
with the Mega Man Legends thing.
yeah, with the sounds, and they did the like the little character walking up with the "Choo, choo, 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 choo." I'm a man now.
You're talking about the serve bots? They're
No. They did like the little Mega Man walking sounds, which are also
Oh,
very
okay.
iconic. The
Nice.
chung, 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 chung.
Yes, that's so funny.
I'm like, that's good and wholesome. I love that.
Yeah. So, there was another little gripe I had, and I don't know if you guys ran into this situation. Maybe it could have just been me. There was something that I felt like was bugged out when I was trying to segue to the boat sequence. Like when I was trying to get to call roll, I had to like go back and forth between like the dock and the town a few times, and I had to like I don't know what happened, but it was really. And then I looked up a guide to see what I was doing wrong, and it was like go talk to one of the construction people, and I've done that 3 times already. Did you guys have this issue at all, or is this just like a me thing?
Um, I had that in the intro sequence where it was like, "Oh, you need to go talk to the detective," and I'm like, "I already did," and then it was like trying to enter the Apple Market. It's like, "But you need to go talk to the detective," and I'm like, "Well, I already talked to them, but okay." So like, I went back, talked to them again, and then I was able to enter the Apple Market. Like, the game is very finicky about like you must have had this conversation with this specific person and triggered this specific thing in order to continue.
Yeah, I had some triggering issues in the game too. It was kind of sporadic. It wasn't very often, but I think I know what you're talking about, Lance, because I think that happened to me my first time I played the game.
Yeah, and I don't know. There must have been like something that you had to do very specifically, or like talk. Maybe you had to talk to roll or something. I don't know what the deal was, but it just wasn't hitting that trigger, whatever was needed to kind of do it. And I was getting a little frustrated. I was like, why is this? So I had to look it up, but yeah, maybe I don't know. It's a minor complaint, but I did get stuck for about 15, 20 minutes trying to figure it out.
You might have done the same thing because I know very specifically one thing that I did towards the beginning was just trying to skip through like dialogue to make it go faster. Like whether I was reading it or not, you press triangle to like kind of speed it up, but that's also like to cancel everything. And very
Oh.
early on, the cowardly digger and his wife who runs the shop, the wife asks, "Will you go look for my husband?" And while skipping through that, I accidentally pressed no. I pressed triangle. I said no. And so I went to the spot and he was still standing outside the building. And I was like, why is he there? I just talked to her and he's supposed to be in. I'm supposed to go get him. And it took me a couple minutes to realize. I finally went back and then she kind of asked again. She's like, hey, will you go look for him? And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I said no the first time. And
She's
I
like, I'm
think
not going
at
to
that
ask again.
exactly, and I think at that boat scene, it might be a different point, but there's a point where you have to be like, you either choose to call roll, or maybe even tell the worker that you have the refractor to do it, or something like that.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
you skip past it. That's the only thing I can think of. But I
That
know
could have been it.
100% that's what I did.
That could have been it. That would be an easy mistake. So that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So maybe there could have been, I don't know, something that let you know that you were doing that. Like, but the
Right.
cancel button was pretty easy to press because you're trying to get through stuff. You're just pressing. Yeah. Another good point, and this is a kind of a personable point. It's if you haven't played the game before, it's not going to be relatable. But for me, it was like this was one of the biggest nostalgia blasts that I've had doing this podcast. Like it hit me really big on this game compared to a lot of games. Like I almost felt like I went back in time a couple times playing it. And I think it's because it's the sound design with the characters and just everything all together. It just kind of shot me back in time. Like when I first played it as a kid, I was like, I remember this feeling, like playing this the first time, like feeling like I was, this little blue Mega Man boy, because I was Mega Man's age at the time, like roughly, maybe a little bit younger. I was 8, probably. Mega Man's like maybe a preteen or a teenager, and yeah, I just remember that feeling. And so this hit me pretty hard as far as the nostalgia goes. There's been a couple of games on the podcast that have done that too with I would say like Ocarina of Time have done that, did that to me pretty well. But this was probably one of the bigger ones for sure. I don't know if you guys get a lot of nostalgia playing it again, but
I definitely did it very like specific points, like the first time you have to fight the Marl Wolf, the first time you fight Teasel down in the pit and you have to fight the giant robot there that's digging. It brought me instantly back to when I was 11 or so, whatever age, playing it for the first time. And like, I remember, struggling so much with this. And brought me back to that. Using various weapons was like, I remember when I loved this weapon back, as a kid, but now I realize it's bad and, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely a nostalgia hit for this game.
Yeah. What about you, Zero? Did you get a nostalgia blast from it or?
Surprisingly, yes. And I didn't play this game as a child, but it took me back to that time in gaming, which I think was very impressive. That I could feel nostalgia for a game that I never played as a child.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You were a teenager though, right?
Can you expand on that?
So when I first played this game, I was in my 20s. I'm in my early 30s now. But when this game came out, I was 4 years old. So it took me back to that time when the PlayStation was brand new. I was still a little kid watching my older brother play games. And it just took me back to that era of gaming, like a comforting way.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it almost like made you feel like you were playing the game back in time, even though it's not like the nostalgia in the conventional sense. It's like nostalgia for your childhood almost, which I can understand that. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. What about you, Whiskey? Do you get any nostalgia from this?
Too much. Too much nostalgia. Because I like this is gonna be. I don't want to go too long, but like the short version is like first time I play it, I'm just a little kid, first or second grade, and loving the hell out of this game. Life is very simple. Grilled cheese and tomato soup is priority of the day, and I just think back on all the different times that I replayed it, and I was like I remember I've replayed it a short time before I had my first girlfriend. I replayed it again after we broke up a couple years later. I replayed it again when I moved away from home for the first time. I replayed it again when I had a really bad breakup after moving home for the first time. And then replaying it again and again and again. And it was like, this is the thing I did right before I met my wife, right after I got engaged, right before I got married, and then every time I changed careers, and I've changed careers probably a dozen times now, and it's been one of the few really positive constants in my life, and it's just I don't think anyone who made this game is never going to realize what a wonderful thing it is and continues to be. But it is maybe I'm showing my cards too much here, but it's a constant source of comfort it's
Yeah.
a cozy game. It's not built
Totally.
like it's not built like a cozy game, but it is a very cozy game because it's like it's engaging, it's fun. There's some exploration to it, but it's got its own thing going on. It's got a life of its own, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's very predictable. It's ineffable. It's truly they built something special, and if anyone who was even remotely involved in building this game listens to this podcast, I want you to know you built something truly wonderful, and I love you very much.
Yeah. On the off chance that the developer listens to this, I think we all share that sentiment.
So
Uh,
I guess it's a little nostalgic.
yeah. Yeah, one of my other good points, and Arya kind of touched on this a little bit with the record store and be able to go listen to the music and stuff, is that a lot of this world is actually pretty interactable. It doesn't feel like Dead, where it's just like you see, like for example, in the Apple Market, you can interact with a ton of the shelves and the clothing store and all these different things that are pretty interactable. And I thought that was really
Honestly,
impressive
most of
for a PS. Yeah, for PS1 game, that's super impressive. And I just, again, this game just impresses me in many ways, and interaction with the world is one of those ways. Do you guys have a favorite interaction? Whiskey, you kind of mentioned one with the dirty magazine, but
Of course, that's the one that we zero in on. Yeah, no.
yeah,
Well, like you are fully experiencing this world through the eyes of a. Let's see. In the beta, he was 10, but in the actual game, they made him slightly taller and made him like 13 years old. But like you were fully experiencing the world from like a 13-year-old semi-sheltered boy. Which is
yeah,
crazy to think about because it's like, oh, go down to the mines, go kill some robots. Why? Oh,
yeah,
we need energy. Okay, but wait, look, kid, we flooded the world. Go down there, kill some robots, get some energy. And but he's still a kid. And like he's like, flipping through there, and he's like, "Oh, that dirty magazine. Oh, fuck! Don't let anyone see me looking at that." Or like he talks to some of the shopkeepers. I think it's the clothing store owner who runs the women's clothing store in the Apple Market, which is way too iconic for how briefly you actually need to be there. Um, but she's like,
yeah,
"Oh, hey, you're kind of cute. Like, what's your name?" And like all that sort of snaz. Like, it really does like it does recreate that awkward feeling of being like, "Oh, I'm just a young teenager out there by myself, just exploring the world, and like I can go do things." And again, this is again showing my age, but like when in the 90s, going off by yourself in a store as a kid feels an awful lot like Mega Man does in Mega Man
yeah.
Legends, when he's like just shopping around. It's like, oh, there's nobody supervising me or what I'm looking at or what I'm shopping for, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, I think he said
um,
something along the lines like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't, even though it'd be fun. Someone might see me," or something like that. I can't
yeah.
remember exactly, but
And there are like different little shop posts like throughout the series where like he'll pop into somewhere and be like, "Yeah, I need that and that and that," and then oh, let's check out some of these CDs. Oh, that's pretty cool, but I shouldn't
yeah,
probably linger too long. Like, it's just there's a certain awkwardness and innocence to Mega Man that's captured extremely well. That uh I don't feel like other properties and other writers seem to capture very well.
yeah,
Is like we've all read like a YA novel that's supposed to be from someone who's like, the point of view of someone who's like 15 or 16 or something, and it's just like it doesn't it doesn't match up. No, it's like 15 or 16-year-olds not thinking those thoughts. But with Mega Man Legends, it's like, yeah, no, I remember being that dopey.
Yeah.
I remember being exactly that dopey.
Do you guys have? What about? Sorry.
Go
I just
on.
want to ask Ariok and Zero. Zero. We'll start with Ariok. Do you have any favorite interactions in the game?
The one that's coming to mind is kind of, and you kind of touched on it a little earlier about NPCs having different dialogue through the game. Just the fact that it can make it so memorable. One of the recent ones I just did was there's a bank robbery, or quote unquote bank robbery, that happens if you kind of do some side quest stuff and you chase them down. But if you go to the bank after that event is done, the bank teller will be like, "Oh yeah, these people came in, these kids, and you could tell that they never handled that much money, so they were kind of scared. It was so cute. Like they must have had no knowledge of the, you know, that they were accused of a robbery, at least just a normal transaction. There's stuff like the vegetable market, the couple there. You can kind of talk to them throughout the game, and eventually the wife has a baby in the game. And at the end credits, assuming you did that, kind of is assuming you basically found her. You find her as she goes on a walk. If you take her to the hospital, at the end credits, when you're like saying goodbye to everyone, you see them in Apple Market, and they're like, "Yeah, we named our baby after you. Whether you chose Mega Man or Hippopotamus, it doesn't matter."
I
Like, yeah,
actually
we named.
I didn't remember that. Fuck.
Uh, and so just that sort of interaction that can progress throughout the game, I love. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that it is so awesome. Like seeing the characters progress and the stories progress. It's just it's beyond. This game is beyond its time as far as that goes. What about you, Zero? You got any favorite interactions?
Um, I don't have really any different ones to speak on, but I do actually want to turn it a little bit and say everyone's interactions with you. It has a little bit of a morality system in this game, depending on what you do and how much things you break. And you could tell based on the color of his armor, if it's a lighter blue, uh, everybody sees you as a really good person. If his armor is a darker blue, then everyone kind of sees him as this a pretty bad person, so everyone will just stay away from you and not interact with you.
It
So I
also
do
Wow.
like that the game does that.
I mean, to double up on that, like, it does change item prices, and in the second game, they went way harder on it. Where, but also in the second game, they said what is a very bad lesson that the Catholic Church took at one point, which was give us so much money and we'll absolve you of all your sins. And that is a thing in the second game. Like, you can go, like, you need to go full dark in order to interact with a certain NPC. To
Yeah,
get something that you need for, like, maxed out weapon.
it's so
But
interesting because they didn't need to do that with this game. Like I felt like the game had
absolutely not. It's so
yeah.
unnecessary, but they did it anyway.
Yeah, and it's like another thing they added, and it doesn't take away from the game. It just adds like a little extra icing on the cake, and it's like nice. Like you got a morality system, which is unnecessary but cool. Before morality systems were popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's shocking to me that this game wasn't more popular. I'm really surprised. It was popular, but not like to the extent that some other games were. Like
I
Legend of Zelda and
I
other
mean,
stuff.
it also
Timing.
had it was timing, because it was a huge departure from the typical Mega Man formula, and then at the same time it was competing against itself, because there were other Mega Man games coming out, like more in the X series. There was Mega Man 7. Like it, like there was plenty for it to compete against, and then it was also competing against itself, and it was also very different from the other offerings that were going on. And
Yeah.
again, timing, as Zero said, really screwed this game.
Yeah, and just to add on to our our original interactables thing, I just kind of want to add on to that. Things that like the city's destructible during the fight, like that city gets destroyed, and then you can like pay money and donate to rebuild it. And then you can pretty much check almost all the doors, and some of them will have unique interactions where people are talking about you inside the doors, like inside their houses. You can just click on everything and you can get so much little backstory and like little things like throughout the game. And that's probably why me and Ariak played, 40 to 100 hours of this game. And same with you, Whiskey, and I'm sure you, Zero. Like where we've played, the game's beatable in 5 hours. And if you know what you're doing, maybe in 4 or whatever, 3. But you can play like 50 to 100 hours just randomly doing random stuff in the game. Maybe, I don't know about 50, but it's a lot. So it's just so interesting, and it makes it feel so alive. Everything feels alive because of these interactions, and it's just incredible. Now let's talk about the power-ups. There's not too many, but there are a few. And there's the spring boots and the skates, which I thought was a really unique thing. Do you guys like the power-ups in this game? Do you think there wasn't enough? Do you think they should have been different? Maybe Zero, you want to start?
In some cases they are a little wonky. I do like the jet skates, but it is a little hard to control.
Yes.
And that little mini game going through the cones, really, no. Like that, yeah,
No, I
that
know what
mini
you're
game,
talking
just
about.
no.
Screw that particular minigame.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it almost sounds like the song from Psycho. She's getting stabbed in the shark.
That's funny because I actually hate the noise of the skates. Even though I like using them because they're like fun to use, I hate that noise. That little like turning noise it makes. It's just
Yeah.
so annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spring. I loved getting the jump boots. I thought those were so cool. Aryak, do you have any like favorite power ups or?
I mean, I definitely loved using the jet skates. The boots opened up so much of the game. I feel like as soon as you got them. I actually, if there's one that I didn't care for, I always hated the way that the helmet looked.
Yeah.
I was a much bigger fan of just walking around without the helmet on.
Yeah, me too.
As far as like the amount of them, it made sense. It kind of reminds me, the X games there's four armor parts per suit. So I mean, the fact that there's helmet, chest, legs, and I guess boots, kind of dipping into the same spot as the X games might have, but just made sense to me too. So.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I think the helmet. I wish there's not like a toggle don't show helmet thing, right? That doesn't exist.
Not like a don't show. You can just not wear it.
Yeah, yeah, because it kind of ruins the immersion, I would say, for the character a little bit. Like you kind of feel more like like a robot rather than like this young teenager that you're playing as, and Mega Man.
It's like that the hair, and I hate being this petty. It's so key to the character of Mega Man Volnut, not Mega Man, but Mega Man Volnut. Yeah. It's so key that like suddenly not having it is like, okay, regular third person robot game, I guess.
Yeah, and I think even the developers knew this because if you have the helmet equipped, there's certain cutscenes that he's just not wearing it. And so the developers knew that it took away from his personality a little bit, I think. So, but the Mega Man helmet is very iconic. Getting that helmet that Mega Man wears is just, you could draw it. I can think of it in my head.
Because
So
every other version of Mega Man wears it, to my knowledge, and this is the
Yeah,
one
pretty
that
much.
doesn't.
yeah, and it's and the other ones, you're not there for Mega Man's personality back, in these other games, you're there to blow stuff up
Yeah,
and destroy bad
and
guys,
and this one you're kind of there for the personality,
Yeah. I mean,
don't get me wrong, the gameplay's fun, the story's great, I love it, but like Mega Man takes on a totally different personality and tone here, and like it's not dissonant with his other appearances, it's just different.
I mean,
Yeah.
that isn't to imply his hair is his personality, but it really just like
yeah.
it has him stick out among his fellow Mega Man characters. Like this is iconically his look is without the helmet. Uh,
It's
so
on
with
the
the helmet,
damn
it
cover
feels
art.
yeah, like with the helmet, it feels a little generic, just
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, not like a big deal or anything, but it definitely, it's just you can see the full facial expression, I suppose, with the helmet too, but it just without it adds a little bit more like flair, I suppose. But yeah, no, not a big deal. Just would have been nice, maybe a little toggle, like saying "Don't show helmet" or something. You could choose not to wear it, but you're gonna take a little bit more damage. But the game is beatable without it. The game, you could do no armor and beat the game if you're good enough. But yeah, just a small little thing. I guess that's like the least cool power up. No, I mean, to be fair, the chest didn't really do anything, right? It just gave you armor.
It was damage reduction per
Yeah.
chest.
Yep, yep.
But visually, I don't think there was any difference.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No difference.
Yeah, so you could say that was technically worse. But yeah, no, the other power ups that actually added features like something to do, I think those were great. I think there could have been more of them, and I think they do add more in number 2. I just haven't played it in a long time. I'm gonna assume here. And yeah,
Which ones are you thinking of?
like the spring boots and the skates, where like it adds a
Yeah.
new ability.
Yeah.
Not
Gates
just
and
like
2 are
weapons.
so much better. Being able to launch off of things is so much fun.
Yeah, can you jump
Yeah.
with the skates in the other one? Like you
Yes.
just jump skate? Oh, that's so
In the
sick.
second one.
Yeah, that's sick. Now I guess I don't have too many more bad points. One, but I do have one, and this is that dying made you go to the last save, and that sounds like a pretty generic complaint in the meaning that like yeah, what game doesn't make you just go to the last save? There are some that have checkpoints. This one does not. So if you haven't saved in a while, or like you just skip data over for whatever reason, there are a lot of like boss fights that come out of nowhere. And if you're not ready for them and you die, you could be setting yourself pretty far back. And so that was kind of a little complaint of mine because it became a problem during the sky fight where you're fighting the eagle after the big ship. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh my goodness, I hadn't saved for a long time. And I was just like upset. I like paused the game and I didn't know what to do. But, yeah, no, I got through it, but it was like definitely something because I think I had saved before the dungeon even. That was like my last save was before that dungeon. So, and they do try to set
Yeah.
data in places where it's like, hey, save, it's time to save, but it doesn't always happen. So,
hmm
I
yeah.
learned my
Any of you
lesson
guys?
really quickly when it comes to saving games, especially the older games. Like, it doesn't hold your hand. You gotta save. But also as a lover of near automata, I know how much you have to just save. You have to ever just save.
No, never.
Yeah.
I,
I'm
I
guessing
still
that
have issues. I still have issues.
I don't know what near automata is, but I'm guessing it
Uh,
gets you pretty good,
Um,
huh?
there's like you can't say for Zero. Correct me if I'm wrong, and please tell me if I'm wrong. But like, you can't say for basically like the first what is it like hour of the
40
game,
minutes. It's like a 40 minutes of
Damn.
gameplay. The
and
game just throws you in
it's
there.
not easy. It's not easy. It's you surviving 45 minutes of a pretty rough shoot 'em up,
Yeah.
Of a
and
modern
then
game that made me feel very much at
I-
home, like older games. It's like, oh, this game does not hold your hand. It's like play and get good.
So you do
Yeah.
that, and then um, you still need to do a platforming and combat section right after that in order to save, and B, because of how the game was built, at least on PC, there's a very good chance that the game will crash on you in that first hour of play, and you will have to do it over again.
That sounds horrible. That does not sound fun.
Weirdly enough,
Yeah,
people have called it one of like the best games of the decade.
interesting.
It
Yeah,
is a really
Mega Man
good
Legends.
game, but yeah.
Mega Man Legends is not that bad. Is not that bad. No, there's just little like moments where it's like you forget to save, you better save, you better save. If you don't, I guess too bad. So yeah, I wanted to go into one more good point, and this is kind of just adding on to pretty much everything we said. Is that there were some genuinely funny moments in this game that I thought the humor in this game was really good, and it's not like it's it. Some of the humor is mature, kind of like with the magazine thing and stuff. But there's just like a lot of small stuff where it's like you're talking to the artist and you could tell she's like, what do you think the painting needs? And you can say like more talent or more red. And it's like I kept
Yeah.
on telling her like she needed more talent, and she'd be like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And you're like, "I said you need more talent." And she was like, "Okay, excuse me, I'm not sure I heard you correctly." And you're like, "More talent," and it's just like,
God,
like, "Oh,
you were such a much worse person than I am. I mean, look, I was every time. I've never hit the more talent button. In
oh
my
man,
almost 30 years of playing, I've never hit the more talent button. And here you are, you're like, yeah, I just keep hitting that more talent button every time.
I think when I was younger, I always took the good route. Like I was, this one, I was like, maybe I'll just be a little bit of a jerk." Yeah, it was really funny. And there was like a little point where you go into one of the shops, I think it's the clothing shop, and the store customer's like staring into the mirror, and he and the
Oh,
and
yeah, I know
the front end guy's like, that guy's just comes in here, he doesn't buy anything, he just looks in the mirror the whole time. And then you go talk to the dude that's looking in the mirror, and he's like, "Am I cool or what?" Like that's like what he's telling himself.
Oh no,
It's
these are both women. They're talking about like that woman doesn't buy anything. She just comes to check herself out, and then she's
Was
checking
it?
herself
Oh,
out. And,
I thought it was a dude.
no, she's checking herself out in the mirror, and she's like, "What do you think of this dress?" And you could say like, "Oh, it looks cute," or "Oh, I'm crazy about it," and then like she'll respond accordingly, and then she'll say, one of her lines is like, "Oh, you think it's cute? You should buy it for me." And then you say,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to spend that money." And she's like, "Haha, just kidding. Don't
Yeah.
don't don't totally buy me this dress, cute boy."
Yeah, so there's like little humor in that that's just so it's like it's just got a lot of that, and it's really good. It made me chuckle multiple times. Teasel made me chuckle multiple times, like just his
As
voice
he
deliveries
should.
and
He's
his
incredible.
he's just funny, man. He's a funny guy, and he's like such a lovable character too. And yeah, I just thought it was the humor in this game made me laugh. Oh, and barrel and roll. Like, did anybody pick that up? Do you guys?
What are we talking about with barrel
So
roll?
Gramps' name is Barrel,
Yeah, no, I got that. Yeah, no, I got
and
the
then
barrel
roll.
roll thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Do a barrel roll? Is that what we're doing?
yeah.
Oh
That's what
my
we're
god.
doing. Do
Oh,
so
oh
it's
my
like
god. No, stop.
Never put that
yeah.
one together.
I
Lance.
I I
Lance.
s- I had to. I had to.
I thought we were friends.
I had to do a barrel roll. Anyway, yeah, it was great. So yeah, I love their humor.
So I gotta ask, do you think Barrel is he Dr. Light or is he Dr. Wily?
I don't know if he's any of those guys. Is he? Just I thought he's separate.
He's definitely one of the two. Zero, help me out here.
He really feels like his own character. Man, I'm not getting any like Dr. Light or Dr. Wily vibes from him.
Seriously? Okay, am I alone in this? Aryuk.
I think you are alone in this one. Um,
Oh my
the
god,
closest,
no!
the closest one to either Light or Wily is probably the boat owner. It's a Wily's boat, and he looks like a Wily. So he could be like a descendant or something, but I think that's the closest reference to either of the two.
I am not convinced Dr. Wily has a descendant.
I mean,
No, he totally does. That guy fucks. That guy fucks. For
He
sure.
looks like Dr. Wily, 100%. He does look
Do you
like him.
do you guys know about the Mega Man rock opera?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Oh my god, you're right. Okay, the Proto Men. If you've seen,
Oh yeah, the Proto Men.
that Karate Kid show, they had one of their covers was featured on there. In the air tonight. But yeah, no, the Proto Men. They have now after 16 years of making me wait. They have 3 acts: Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, which are a retelling of the Mega Man story as a rock opera.
Oh, they
And
finally released Act 3?
they finally did.
Oh
Like
wow.
like a couple weeks ago. Like I was like,
Oh
ow,
my
oh my god.
goodness, that
Yeah,
brought back
yeah,
some
no.
memories.
Yeah, the Proto Men. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. I think Act 2 is the strongest one, but Act 3 is very good so far. But yeah, no, if you want to see a rock opera about Mega Man, the Proto Men are your one-stop shop.
Is it good?
They're actually very good.
They are.
Like like you don't have to edit this into the podcast, but like right now, just look up the Hounds Proto Men.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
on a separate quick note.
Let's actually wrap up your pod. I'm so sorry to
No,
be
you're
this
okay.
guy.
On a separate quick note, I think me and you were talking about 2 different clothing stores. I had to look it up because I was going crazy. I was talking about Chino's Taylor. Was it Taylor Chino's, a men's clothing store? And then so that's the male guy I talked to. And then I think you were talking about Dressmaker Hip Bone, which is a woman's clothing store.
Yep, hip
I
bone.
think.
Yep,
Yeah.
the hip bone is the women's
Yeah.
clothes there.
Okay. Stupid point, but I was going crazy about it. So let's go into kind of our final thoughts. So anything that we should have mentioned that we shouldn't have, or we should mention, or just your closing thoughts on the game.
No, let's go. Let's go into things that we shouldn't mention.
Right.
I think we should sit on that, Lance.
And then whether or not you should reload the game is kind of the second part of that question. And we'll start with Zero on this one.
It's my final thoughts on the game. When I first played the game, I didn't think I was actually gonna like it since I knew it was gonna be a little bit janky, but it is a very charming game, and if you give it the time of day, you are probably gonna enjoy the game. Wonky controls aside, you'll get used to it. Just the characters, the world, interacting with all the NPCs, and even interacting with just random stuff. You never know what you're gonna find. In my opinion, this is a game that's worth reloading. Like, go back to it, play it. If you've played it years ago, play it again. If this is your first time experiencing the game, have fun with it. Really, it's a really interesting entry in the Mega Man franchise, but it's one worth looking into.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah, 100%. And then Whiskey. What are your final thoughts?
So, again, I would echo everything Zero just said, but also add on to it. This game has a very specific feel to it. It has a very specific sense of discovery. It has a very intentionally designed, and I use those words very heavily, intentionally designed sense of discovery and just sort of just youthful goofiness. Like there's a lot of games out there today that you can go and you can play them for 2,000 hours, and it's going to feel old after hour two. Where Mega Man Legends, I've played this game for probably 300-400 hours, and
Yeah.
the sense of discovery never gets old. Even though I know exactly where certain things are, I know exactly how to find certain things, but it doesn't get old because it was intentionally placed, it was intentionally designed, and the world itself and the characters are just so damn charming that I can't get sick of it. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel old, the first time I played it all the way to completion was probably 25 plus years ago, and I'll replay it again today. Like I was playing it again earlier today, and it still felt really fresh. And there's something really special about this game. They put clearly a lot of love into it. It didn't need to be a Mega Man game, but it is, and it's all the better for it. Um,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
so anybody who's questioning, oh, should I play this game or not? Well, give this game a try. Get used to the controls. You're gonna have a lot of fun, and you're gonna have even more fun with its crazy ass sequel.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna leave it.
Nice. Yeah. So that's a reload from you as well. That's awesome.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And then Ariak, any final thoughts, and should people reload it?
I mean, not much to say that hasn't been covered. Definitely play it. Definitely reload it. It doesn't matter if you're a Mega Man fan, an adventure fan, an RPG fan. Just it's worth playing. I will
Yeah.
never regret going back to it. It doesn't matter how much time passes. And I had fun the entire time I played it. Just the last couple days to, kind of refresh it on it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% agree.
Lance, take us home, Lance.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, I'll give my final thoughts as well. And I mean, you guys have said most of what people need to hear. The game, even though it's not your typical Mega Man game and you're not getting that same experience, you're going to get a very unique and amazing experience playing this game. And I think some of this might be slightly clouded by my nostalgia, but at the same time, somebody like Zero picked it up in their early 20s and they just loved this game. So it's not just pure nostalgia. It's the characters and the storytelling and the writing and the gameplay. Everything just comes together as this one cohesive unit that makes a wonderful, amazing game. The only thing that could be said that I would say is maybe the tank controls feel a little off the first hour, but after you're done with that, you're on for a great ride, and you're gonna just have a blast with this game. So I would have to say 100% reload the game, and then I always give these games a rating at the end of the show, and I have to give this game like a 9 out of 10. If it wasn't for the controls, it might be either close to a 10 out of 10, maybe a 9.5. There's a couple little small things, but it's just an awesome game. Just an awesome game, really. I can't really say anything else about it, but go reload it 100%. So, just a quick riddle, and then we will have you guys plug your socials if you have any you want to plug. And so the riddle for next week's game: I speak without words, yet my voice is heard. Through chants and commands, my fate is stirred. Born on the line where workers fall, I flee the meat, the greed, the wall. I sneak, I solve, I save my kind. One wrong step, and I'm left behind. A strange world laughs while horrors loom. Tell me what game escapes this doom. Do you guys have any idea of what it might be?
Not off the top of my head, I don't. I might have to see that written down though.
Okay. Any educated guesses? Anyone want to try?
Can you repeat it again?
Oh,
As fast as you can. As fast as you can. I want to hear real quick.
okay.
Come on, live. Speed run.
I speak
Speed
without
run
words,
this
yet my
girl.
voice is heard. Through chance and commands, my fate is stirred. Born on the line where all workers fall, I flee the meat, the greed, the wall. I sneak, I solve it, I save my kind. One wrong step, I left behind. A strange world laughs while horrors loom. Tell me what game escapes its doom.
A Burger Time, is it?
No, not Burger Time.
Okay, that's
It's
first
not
thought that goes to my head.
It's a Silent Hill.
Do you guys want a hint? Or
Yeah, let's take a hit.
so this game was originally released on the original PlayStation in the late 90s.
Silent Hill.
Nope. I already played that one actually for the podcast.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, fuck me then.
Yeah, so it's got, and I guess one more small hit before I say it. It's got another game also on the PlayStation. It's like a sequel, I think.
Well, it's not Future Cop.
No, it's difficult. It's really difficult. I'll tell you that. I've been playing it. It's
That doesn't narrow it down.
so yeah. It's
blank.
Oddworld Abe's Odyssey is the game.
I never played those. That makes sense.
Fowler.
Yeah. Man, I got some things to say about that next week. I got some things to say about that game. Tetra Folly is the one who submitted to the retro roster. Thank you, Tetra. And at the same time, you're torturing me with these games. With these games,
You know,
this is
I might actually have a friend I can maybe rope you in on if she's not too busy with her children's.
Oh, cool. She's a fan of the game.
Yeah, no, she's the one who introduced me to it actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, she's cool. She's my big sister's friend. I definitely didn't have a crush on for
Yeah, sure.
years.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, let's give you guys an opportunity to plug your socials. Ariok, you said you were streaming or something. Did you want to plug that or something else?
Yeah, I can plug it. I will admit it's been months since I've regularly streamed, but I'd like to get back into it. It's twitch.tv/Oriok3267. I just kind of play a variety of games, mostly older stuff, honestly. I'm just kind of like to chill. I'll talk the whole time. I'm best at answering questions than I am just kind of going, but yeah, I do a variety of things when I do stream there.
I gotta watch your stream. I didn't know you were up and running. I gotta watch that. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then Whiskey, do you have any things you want to plug?
It doesn't have to be my own thing, right?
You could, if you want, you could plug someone else's if you want.
I will plug whoever I want. So so I do have a couple of podcasts that are in the works that don't really have titles yet, so I can't really plug them properly. But keep an eye out for me. I'd love to be around on this podcast again, if you'll have me. And I'll give my shout out to Jordan and Dan at the Knowledge Fight podcast. If you have not given them a listen, I highly recommend it. Again, Jordan and Dan at Knowledge Fight.
And then Zero, did you want to plug anything?
I don't have any socials or anything like that. I'm just very much a person that likes to help out smaller YouTubers. So if anybody has like small YouTube channels about gaming and all that, you may see me drop by every now and then.
Yeah, and I can speak to that. You and Ariok have been extremely helpful to my podcast, very supportive, and I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. So thank you all for coming on. It was very fun talking about Mega Man Legends. I'm sure we could all talk about it for much longer, but it is getting a little bit late, so we should probably wrap it up. But yeah, thank you guys. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for having me.
This is wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Well, folks, that's game over for this episode of Retro Reloaded. Thanks for joining me on this retro adventure. If you loved today's trip down memory lane, then consider helping me keep the nostalgia alive by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/retro reloaded. You'll get early episodes, bonus content, and a chance to pick the next game that we reload. Feel free to let me know your thoughts about the podcast, and until next time, keep those controllers charged.